Hi, everyone. We're live, we're here. This is happening. A reminder I just received in the last 2 minutes. So I was down to the wire for this practice. Tend to like to get those last minute insights where they can't overwhelm my thinking of considering, should I pull more information in? Should I bring tons of stuff and to support the notion? And instead, I like to feel what it is that sort of inspires me to act appropriately in the moment. And right now, on this day, right, the 28th of July, 2020, the reminder, this is supposed to, the invitation, is that we do what we do to support what we're going to be. If that makes sense, great, right? Because it might fall right in line with thinking about that. I've been wondering, or what's the key word, right? To support is to nourish, right? To bring in the aspects that are truest to our own flourishing, our bounty, our beauty, the streamline of getting into a place of constancy, right? Of our joy. It doesn't mean that we don't sort of slip, fall, sway, or go off path momentarily. But our support system, right, we're nurturing that through our friends and our family, through our own personal interests and our creativity, but also through the things and the signs of rightness that come through the practice of yoga, right? My practice may be different from what you may prefer, or maybe today is just right for you and for whatever reason. I put the alignment and the truth of the alignment just in that our bodies are this way. They respond with the muscles that act in the way that they want to, or they're supposed to, for moving our bones motorically. And then and we notice, right? We're open to the response of sort of what occurs when doing so, right? So do this in support of where you're going, okay? Let your hands come together at your heart. You take this subtle little amount of time, whether we do this one practice just now or many times later, to remind ourselves of the peace that we have, not to gather it from outside of us because it exists inside of us. Reciprocally, we can also respond to the peace that is outside of us in order to inform the peace inside of us. Right? Now, gently to your heart, to yourself, to all hearts, release your hands, open your eyes, and we'll come to our mat. Okay, so when you get to your mat, right? And so my apologies if we're first getting into this live. I think the mat sort of setup is a pretty ideal one for how you can see, but you can also send me messages, keep them positive, and just give me some reminders, maybe some tips and cues that make this better for you, right? I'm calling this the front of my mat. You can call any direction the front of your mat, and we'll probably shift it. So if you're new to me, just know that we're not bound by the four corners of what we've set up originally. Ooh. You can use that in any part of your life that you want to as inspiration. Today, I want to use the support system, which is our place of our pelvis, and primarily the thing that we love to focus on, which are the glutes, booty, 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 right? So we're going to get a little opportunity to possibly get a little bit sore in that space, the glute region, right? So targeting all three of them on each side, and seeing how, right, the stronger we feel here, the more kind of consistently mobile and free to explore we are everywhere else. Okay? Sit to chair pose. Right, so you get your first chair. For me, I've been sitting in a chair all day, and so now this is a healthy wake up, right? Feel free to have your hands at your knees. The tendency, and I offer this information freely, is that we must try our best, our most, in most frequent times to really kind of align and stack the knees above the ankles, right? They don't exist in the sort of balance of the body past the ankles, right? So Midfoot would be sort of our sort of maximum press forward, unless otherwise suggested. So we get that. And you notice that as I ramble here, right, you might either take your butt higher up, or maybe you've gone lower down. You got a little chance to just kind of move in this. So the opportunity here has been for the endurance, both to listen to my voice, but also to sit in this chair. Okay, straighten through the legs, slide your hands down towards your toes. And then just seeing sort of the response that comes out of a forward bow. If you don't tend to practice yoga early in the morning, I suggest maybe including that with your coffee. I'm not going to tell you to not drink your stimulants and do your routine, but maybe expand on your routine. And you might find that there is some energy that comes out of this that really gets your day going, right? Or helps sort of sustain efficiency. Inhale to a flat back. Again, sit to your chair pose. Your hands can be your guides to measuring out, finding your knees where they need to be. And then lift the arms. Okay, this inhale, come up to stand. Woo. And then you're going to shift into your right foot, which is not too much of a sway, but left foot comes off the floor. You're going to keep that left knee bent and slide this into a scorpion position of your feet. Little press up and back and heel in terms of wherever you like to be. Right, you're going to step this over to your right. So you do a little tap over. Come back into the right foot, legs. You've got like a round front. And then you're going to kick the leg out, tap the toe, reach your left arm back. There's a twist. So first twist, left knee bends, sit to chair. Same setup, hands to knees, and straighten the legs and bow. Okay, you'll notice after a couple passes through, we get sort of the information we need right away, and we know exactly how we're going to further sort of compel ourselves into the support we need, right? Support, maybe knowing we're halfway up, flat back. Exhale, sit to chair. And then inhale up to stand, right? This time, right foot comes off the floor. And we're gently just sweeping the chest forward as the heel goes up. Warrior 3. And then very gently, you cross that midline, you reach over. There's a gentle touch to the floor here. We're not going to go sort of entirely weight bearing into that right foot. Keep into that left leg, wrap it around, bring it to front. Right, you start to turn your heart. And then either holding the knee or straightening the leg, right? You can hold the leg wherever you wish. It usually takes a little bit of time, right, in a shape to start to decipher, right? So if you are pushing that heel forward, hold the heel in, right? If you're sort of rounding in the low back, scoop the tailbone, lift the chest, and squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, right knee bends, sit to chair, hands to knees, slide them down your shins and head to drop. Okay, inhale halfway up. Your exhale, you're going to step left foot back. Okay, and then right here, right leg straightens. So you're going to get the hamstring stretch again. Right, and then so your cue here is to just kind of find the place where you initiate from the universal place, right? So if I were to just drop my left heel down, I'm stretching through my calf, obviously. I'm probably using zero muscle action in my back leg. But if I push into my toes to lift that heel, I can fire up. I can see my quads work, my chest comes forward, and then my whole back of that front right leg hamstring really gets a nice feeling, right? A little stretch. Okay, right knee bends. Very gently, you're going to lean forward into Warrior 3 with the knee bent, right, wherever you like those arms. Tap over to the right, not entirely going to that right foot, but come back up and around. So I'm rotating in the leg to come to center, send the leg out, holding either toe or ankle, heel, calf, or knee. Awesome. When you let the left knee go this time, we're going to slide this into a half moon pose. Okay, left arm is up, left heel is back. I'm flexing my foot to a flat foot, right, with a lifted ankle. You'll get that a lot in your standing leg. Left hand comes down, square the hips, you're in standing split. Left knee comes in, so you can place that left foot to meet the right. Okay, inhale to a flat back. Exhale, we'll sit to the chair pose again, so you get a little bit more of those thighs working, arms lifting. Right, I let my hands come to my knees, so it's almost like I'm holding my knees in place as I lift my booty to pour over the front of the legs. Okay, fingertips touch on the inhale, we'll step back. Right foot steps back, you're in low lunge. Left leg straightens, your pyramid pose. Right, another thing, so now that we've kind of sussed out what's required of the back leg, the lift of the heel, now considering sort of how much you need from right side to left side in those hips, right? So hip to hip, meeting at the center, right to left, into the middle, and then out through the front, right? You might even notice how much you push out into the toes of that front foot. So you test that by lifting a little bit through that heel. Left knee bends. Push down the heel, come up to that scorpion warrior 3. A step over, right? A little tap over. So you're mostly staying in that left leg. So you're gonna get a lot left glute. Right leg comes around, out to front, right? Front and center. And then turn through the heart, reach to touch the foot. I know, if you've been taking my class a lot lately, this is something that we've been repeating this, right? But we must repeat this. It's a practice, right? You only do it once. How much time do you have to get good at that, right? Let go of that right foot. We're gonna sweep this to an open hip, standing split. That was actually a pretty dynamic sort of change in the way that the pelvis was just relating to the top of the standing leg, the femur bone, to wait now is sort of way out to your side, respectively. Now we're in this shape, right? Which is a still standing pose. Right, arm reach forward, hand touch. Wrap that right hip down. You get a little moment for your standing split. You can release the neck. Right knee bends so you can feel your abdominal muscles support you as they tuck in. And place that foot to meet the left. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, fold. Super. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, sit to chair. Then again, hands to knees, legs to straighten, forward bow. Okay, fingertips touch, lift your chest slightly. Left foot steps back, low lunge. All right, this one, right leg is gonna go back. We're gonna go for an open hip, so you get that same standing feeling of that left leg that you just had in your half moon pose. Then bring that right knee forward, tap it to your left elbow, wrap it around your left leg, and then send your left hip back. This is just a little sort of stretch for the work you were just doing on the glutes. Okay. Using your abdominal muscles as you lift your left heel, you lift your eyes, chest forward, place that right foot, and straighten that right leg. Lift that back heel, and fold deeper into the right leg. Okay, follow that natural flow. Your breath, your eyes, your energy floats forward to lift into your warrior 3 with scorpion bend left knee. And then left foot steps over. This time, you actually will shift your weight into that right leg. Right hand reach down, left leg. And then left arm straight up to the sky. Eyes up too. Squeeze your shoulder blades down, back towards each other and down, right? So you feel your chest lift and your eyes open, and it's easy on your neck too. Right? So nice graceful transition back into your standing right leg. Left leg reach around, wrap to front, and grab the toe. Okay, this is cute. Right here, to come out of this one, you're gonna let go, same thing as before, half moon pose. Okay, right hand down, fingertips, left arm up. A little shift into the length of that right foot, so your right knee is still kind of proper and supported by your heel. And this exhale, you're gonna left knee bend, tuck this in, left foot lands to meet the right, left elbow outside of the right knee, and then right arm up to the sky. So we're kind of going full force into the spine, which is kind of nice, because the stronger and more stable we get the hips, the more mobile and sort of curiously playful we can get in the spine. Feet pressing the floor, right arm pulls you all the way up to stand. Yay, lifting and reaching. Sit nice and deep. A little deeper chair, maybe feeling a little more confident on that one. Hands to touch, knees slide down to toes, forward bow. Feels pretty nice. So now you might be noticing, right, you're getting a little bit more of that sort of warm confidence. Now right here, your abdominal muscles are the primary sort of action that is getting you closer to your legs. So less likely of the hands, but of course, including the hands and arms also. Okay, inhale to the flat back. Fingertips touch. Right foot steps back, low lunge. Okay, left leg goes back. Open hip, three-legged dog. Right, and I'm gonna straighten my leg on that one. So it's a straight leg, open hip. So it's a little turn out in the thigh, a little squeeze in the glutes, and then just a gentle lift in the underside of the right arm. So you feel very, very stable in those arms, right? Left knee comes in and forward to your right elbow. As you do, right heel tips over to the left, so you can wrap the left leg around that right leg. And all you're doing is pressing the outer right hip. Right here, you might notice, if you're generally tight, don't worry, you have a lot of support here, and in that, you have a lot of friends that are. Right from the place of your right bicep, if you were to turn and look at your right arm right there, I love this arm, it's so cute. Right there is where your lats kind of approximately insert. And as they draw back and in sort of a general amount of tightness, as your lats go back and attach to the lumbar spine, it's the lowest aspect, you're gonna feel that it even goes further down and almost feels like it's attached to your glutes. So you got kind of this full package here. When your inhale, right heel comes up, your left foot comes forward, and you place, right? Left leg straightens, and you fold. You might just already notice it's been a pretty nice change of state here in the sort of the universe of your body. Left knee bends, chest lifts, inhale forward, scorpion version of warrior 3. And then that tap over to touch, and then it's a tap and land, so you lean over to that leg, right? So if you're at home and this is your first time going into one of my sort of quirky little cross midlines, this is what it looks like from the front. And your left hand goes back to right leg for stability, right? Find it so you can support it. The tendency here on this is the back, the low back wants to kind of hyper curve into the back bend. Try to push into the left leg to tuck the tailbone under, right? It's going to push a little more in that quad. And then as you squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your chest. So this will be less about the low back, even though it looks like it, and more about the upper back and the smile. Right? Back into your left leg. I'm facing. Bring the right leg around, out to front. I'm back on my mat the same way I started. And then we'll go for that twist. Right? It's one of my favorite twists because you can really sort of measure your endurance as it grows here by just kind of putting less sort of responsibility in the hand, but letting it just more be a touch, right? So strong quads, strong right side and glute, right? You're gonna sweep that leg back. So you open this up, land in half moon pose. Awesome. Very gently, that right knee is going to tuck and place the foot, place your left elbow outside so you immediately go into that sweep and you're turning the other way. Feet are balanced, knees are balanced, hips are balanced, even the collarbones are balanced here, right? So finding those harmonies, you might find to support the flow, tailbone to top of head, right? So that energy line in our body. Left arm pulls you all the way up, whoo, all the way up to reach. We'll squeeze the glutes at the top and a nice forward bow. All right, we haven't done single vinyasa yet, and we're almost finished with our half hour. Inhale to the flat back. We're gonna get there. On your exhale, knees then hands touch. First, left foot steps back. You're in a low lunge, right? Let your left knee go to the floor. We're gonna take that into a little half Hanuman. So right leg stretch, not sitting in your left heel, just forward bowing and reaching out through the fingers. Right knee bends, Left knee foot steps forward. Right foot steps back. First low lunge. Soft land right knee. I go to the top of my right foot, so the top of the foot pressing down can give you room to kind of lean back into it and press down. Right, left leg straightens, so it's a half Hanuman. And remembering we're all different shapes and sizes and sort of proportions, so not taking this so seriously that you feel like you're doing it wrong if you don't look like me or the person that's practicing next to you. So just kind of let it be, right? Complete pose, right? It's all about sort of finding the best way of nurturing yourself, not diminishing, right? We're in plank pose, right? Nice, easy neck, shoulders, smile, lower all the way down, land. Right here, lift just the legs. So like I said, we're going glutes today. Bend the knees, there's scorpion on both. Take your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch, and now press from the arms. Peel the heart off and belly away from the floor. All right, so we're getting a nice, strong version of a scorpion up dog. Right, maybe by the end of the summer, our toes will be touching our ponytails. Right, and then you can very sweetly roll, if you're okay, over the knees and back into a child's pose, hips back to the heels. Okay, so make sure you're padded. I'm a little compromised with my mat and my knee, but that's okay, because we all do survive. We will heal, however that is. Make a subtle adjustment or ground. Right, inhale, come up, drop the hands in so that you can take in all fours. And so we went to sort of the lower half of the legs to support the pelvic region and sort of this system of the strength that goes on there. And now we have to just kind of make sure that also from the top down, we're sending our core energy into the pelvis appropriately. Right? We tend to think sort of one must come before the other, but they both come in the right timing, right? So from all directions. We call it the multiverse, not universe. Universe is too limiting, right? Tuck the toes. Right here, your knees come off the floor just about an inch, right? So I call it the hovering fork. Call it whatever you like. So you just have a couple breaths here. It's a pretty packed exercise, very subtle, not needing to breathe or do repetitions, but just kind of notice, right? What changes when our responsibility becomes higher, greater, heightened. Okay, so the change here is going to be left leg straight, right knee tucks into chest and face. Then right leg goes back, three-legged dog open. This is the last sequence of this one. So we're gonna let the knee bend. You're gonna take your left heel, left and lefter, so you go to the sort of heel of that left foot. You've got that hip open, wide. Right? We're not landing anywhere more than this, just kind of using our medial rotators of the glutes to feel that height. Right? So straight leg orbit means up to you. Lift that left heel, step that foot forward, left knee down, front leg straight. So again, you're getting into that hamstring stretch that is the half Hanuman. Feel free if you want to step it farther out in front of you. But we are stepping into that right leg next. So the next cue is come forward into the right knee, lift the left, lighten the hands, up into your warrior three, bent knee, and then over to your side step, right? So warrior five, I call it, right hand to left leg, left arm up. And just to make this kind of sort of included the support and sort of the name of the support, bend your left elbow, take your hand to the back of the head, and then include the lean of your head into your hand. And notice that you've got inches more of this experience just waiting for you once you recognize how well you can give yourself, support yourself. Okay, so that's a beauty, right? Wow, move forward into that right leg, right? Pick up the left leg, wrap it around front, right? Place the leg. And I'm gonna give you this opportunity. You're either gonna hold that heel, big toe, or the calf, and see if you can lift that leg higher. Think of how you were just in a version of this when you were in half Hanuman. You could even sweep that left arm around and take a half bind on this. It's not sort of too kind of dynamic. It's just a little sort of opportunity to remember to drop that left shoulder down. Right, when you let that left leg go, you can keep that half bind And now you'll find when your right hand touched the floor, you've got a half bind in the left shoulder, and it's kept your left side of the neck and the shoulder very stable through that transition. And that's cute too, because if you want, you can now sweep that right arm forward. You have a half bound, half moon pose, full moon pose really. When you bend that right knee, you're gonna swing the arms around and take your twisted chair. Okay, so you worked all day. This is a nice relief. Right arm's gonna pull you all the way up to stand. Go up. One little last piece on this one is you swim heart forwards with the arms back, gather, fingertips, interlace, and then fold. Okay, head drops. Right, the heart listens. So feel yourself breathing, hear yourself breathing, and notice that sort of, it's a trigger, a reminder of your support, so trigger in a positive direction. Okay. Whee. Inhale to a flat back. Release the arms, touch them to the floor. Left foot, then right foot back, plank. Right, your plank goes chaturanga to the mat. First the legs go up, okay? And then bend the knees. Sorry, make sure, get your step out of the way. Right, bend the knees and then widen them, let them touch the floor. Big toes touch, right? Shoulders squeezing, heart lifting, right? Rising. Big breaths here, so just making sure that you're not sort of jamming, stuffing, or like overly, rambunctiously shoving too much weight into your ligaments, your joints. Okay. Again, shifting back up, you come to your hovering fours. Right, so you have to jog your knees underneath your hips, place your hands where you're comfortable all the way up to the fingertips, tuck the toes and lift the knees. Just hovering. Right, happy with your face, happy with your position. Right here, it's right leg straight, left knee tuck. Whoa. Right, left leg's gonna go back and open. Right heel, tip right, all the way till the heel touches the floor, right? If you've got hyper or sort of a good amount of mobility in your ankle, you might even be able to get your your right big toe to the floor. And so right here now, you're noticing that sort of place from the lower left obliques to that right inner thigh, how they are sort of very sweetly combined, connected. Ooh, as you lift that left heel, pull that left knee forward and place the foot. Okay, right knee to the floor, shift into that half Hanuman, right? So I like to sort of show the example of just kind of getting close to, right, when you were in that lunge, to the thigh, right, chest, not hip flexor, right? So you let that be loose. And as you push out through the toes, lengthen back through this heel, from the heel of the sit bone, you stay close to that left leg. So you have this really awesome forward bow into your legs. Okay, left knee bends. If you need to make any adjustments, do right knee lifts. Shift up into your left leg. Right knee bends. Woo! Floorboards are a little wobbly. Right foot steps outside. Right hand, left to the left. Right, chest lifts. Tailbone down. Left hand back. Right leg. And then remember, like last time, right, the modification was bend your right elbow. Let your head find the shape of your hand. Let your hand sort of hold the shape of your head. Yeah, and then feeling, right, all the time, 5 toes, that back right foot, chest open, right? Come back, up, into that right leg, forward through that right knee, and then you're either, right, advancing the practice, getting a little bit sort of deeper, farther out on that leg, maybe even the heel. Lift up on that, use your strength, and try to balance the hips. So you get very low in the hip and very high in the heel. Wide through the shoulder until you take your little half bind. Mostly this is just finding the left side of your waistband. Right, when you let go of that leg, this is gonna sweep you, still very sturdy, from heel to hip, into a bound version, first half moon pose. Your eyes are there to support you, right? Bind is there to remind you, right? And then very gently, left arm reaching. Bound half moon pose. Woo! Bring it up. Awesome. Right foot lands. Right elbow outside of left knee. Last little piece of the turn. Just fine. Awesome. Left arm pulls you all the way up to stand. Yay. Full heart and breath up to the sky, reaching. Nice, sweet. Forward bow over the legs. And this is sort of an energy practice, right? Still, so even though it's not a power practice, right? So know your energy and know your path. How do you want to get to this last vinyasa? Stepping or jumping? You decide. Inhale to a flat back. It's your life, your practice, right? Knees bend, hands bend. Push you to the floor. There you go. Chaturanga to up dog. Right, and we're going to finish that. Come back to the belly, to the heart, to lift the legs. Bend the knees. Go wide. Knees is wide or wider than the mat, depending on the proportions of your body. And then I'm going to fingertips to finish this, right? So it makes your arms a little longer. Gives you a little bit more space. So as the big toes are touching, you're rising, right? You're lifting. And you're staying very connected to the support system here. The knees pressing into the floor, the chest lifting, heart expanding, shoulders back and down, and smiling. Okay. Roll this back to a child's pose. Make sure your knees are padded. Ooh, yay. Couple big breaths right here. So letting those hands still be touching the floor, and those hips. Slide back to bring length into the low back from where you were just working. Okie dokie. Inhale, come up. You walk your hands back. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes. Lift your heels. You're in a short down dog. And you walk your hands back so that you're at your toes. Let your head drop. Right here, cross your forearms. Hold your elbows or hold your forearms. Let your head be heavy. You're gently just going to sweep your weight from right to left to the legs, right? Keep your eyes open on this one because you don't want to sort of confuse your body thinking that you're falling or that you're unsteady, right? So you're very, very conscious of this. That weight shift right here is that shifting from one side to the other. Is not only a sort of a benefit into the sort of targeted area of the body, but also to the place where your brain receives and sort of conveys information out. Right, so just kind of letting your right, left side of brain respond to left, right side body. Okay. Inhale to pop back. You're touching the floor to walk yourself into your plank pose. When your knees are coming to the floor, cross your ankles, right? So you get the sort of cross-ankled, wide-kneed action, right? Come up to your knees slightly so that you can feel that we're slowly moving from this place where it's all support and control and strength, glutes and hips, right? Back into the toes, and then back to the butt, back to the feet. Scoot your butt forward and cross your ankles. So this is going to bring you to your seated upright posture. Right? So I just kind of took you the long way around to sitting down. Right? So come to your tall seat and close your eyes for one last moment. Right? This last moment to close out our practice, to enjoy how Wednesday has unfolded, and also to honor, right? To honor what supports you. And remind yourself too, what supports you is not necessarily and not entirely coming from things on the outside that are occurring, even people. But really, it's the part of your life that you love, the part and parts that are participating in what it does to sort of create that support system, right? Just like you remind yourself, I love friendship, right? I love smiling. I love laughing, right? I do because I have a sensitivity to those things. And therefore, I know that those things will keep me light, keep me positive, keep me hopeful. Keep me moving forward in a positive way, getting to where we're going. All right? Let your hands come together at your heart. Now gently, lightly, largely. To your heart, to yourself, to all hearts. Namaste. 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 Yay. Stay cute. Talk soon. Friday, 6 p.m. Here. Mikeeyoga on Instagram. Mikey with 2 E's and yoga. Thank you. Have a great day.